22. Today we're exploring some more exciting science questions.
The next question is from Phoebe, who's 9 as well. And she asks, how many magnets are there in the world?
Hello Phoebe, thank you for your question. It's really a tough question, really. It depends what you consider a magnet. Is it natural magnet? Is it man-made magnets? Altogether, there's a lot of them. So to know what is, for example, a natural magnet, you can use the Earth. The Earth is a natural magnet that creates a field that protects us from solar waves, solar particles. You have man-made magnets where we have electricity flowing through some copper coils and that make things turn. And create the magnet in the end. So there's a lot of possibility about how to create magnet and what you can consider magnet. And so you can start by looking at the Earth. That's a good point to start. Thank you.
Hello, if you like what you see, make sure to subscribe to The Lab 22. There's lots more science fun coming your way.
Next question is from Anya, who's 9. Why do the planets rotate?
Thank you, Anna, for your questions. In the early days of the universe, the world was just a big cloud made of space dust. Due to gravity, the space dust started to rotate and form planets. So now we have Earth or any planet rotating. So imagine that Earth is a spinning basketball. If I start spinning a basketball, it would eventually stop spinning, and that's due to air resistance and friction. In space, we have no air, no friction, it's mostly emptiness. So Earth, just like any other planet, will just continuously rotate. We also use that in our everyday life. We count days based on the rotation of Earth, which is 1 day.
So today I'm going to be answering 3 questions in one go. They're really quite interrelated. We've got Ekis, who's 9, who asked, who was the first scientist in the world? Maisie, who's 10, asked, what year was science invented? And Caleb, who's 9, asked, who invented science? So I'm going to try and explain how we describe science today, but also throughout history, how science has been approached. And hopefully you 3 will find that answer useful. Okay, so what we have is a collection of questions that are really interconnected. So we're going to talk about all 3 of them together. Now, if we look at the definition of science, if we look it up, it's got a few meanings. But the original Latin word for science meant to be a seeker of knowledge. So someone who wanted to learn, someone who was asking questions, someone who wanted to understand how everything around you works. That leaves things quite open. That kind of means that anyone who's asking questions, anyone who's curious could call themselves a scientist. And I don't think I would disagree with that. However, about 2,500 years ago, there was a Greek man, Thales of Miletus, he was the first one to record an approach to how you experiment, to how you ask questions, to how we ask a question. We think we might know the answer, we could have a guess. We test whether we think we've got it right, and if not, what is it we need to go back to look at? So he is considered the first scientist because he used what is now called the modern scientific method by following a set of approaches to find a conclusion. I find it a little bit tricky, if I'm honest. If we look back 5,000 years ago or more, if we look at what the ancient Egyptians were doing, for example, the fact that they were carrying out brain surgery tells us they understood enough about the brain and how to make people feel better by literally opening up the skulls and doing the work. The embalming of bodies means that they understood chemistry and chemicals and how they interacted with our bodies. And let's just look at the pyramids. Those are huge structures, which means that to be able to build those and for those pyramids to still be standing today means that they understood about construction materials, they understood about civil engineering, and they understood about their trigonometry to be able to create these triangular buildings that stayed up for so long. Now let's go forwards another 1,000 years, 500 to maybe 4,000 years ago, we had the Babylonians. So we know about the Hanging Gardens, we know about the incredible constructions that they made, which would again have required good mathematics and good engineering. We know that they made soap. That is a chemical process in and of itself. We know that they understood that staying clean was good health, so they already had some biology that was understood. And there's also a belief within the scientific world that they created one of the first batteries. So they were fueling and powering things around them millennia ago. So while we maybe don't have a step-by-step guide of how they came to these things, I don't think we can really deny that scientists have been around for thousands and thousands of years when we look at what humans have been creating for this amount of time. I hope that helps.
If you have any more questions, please tell us.